Okay, now you have seen that, and you might have seen that we're having a good time, like always. The metal gang being complete. But it is also a little bit in combination of where we are at the moment. Because if you've seen in the intro, I am now 23.1. And of course, I mention about our progress quite a lot. And there's something peculiar that really fascinates me to see, as not many, there are not many countries where it is the same. So here in the Netherlands, we've got this app that we can use, and I will also show you that in the screen. Let me show you that now here on the side. Here you see how it looks like, what you can do. You can order your tea time for not all the course, but at least some. You can see also that you can register your card as long you note to somebody else that you have a marker who can then when it is meant to be qualifying, who can then book it as qualifying. And if I compare that to a number of other countries, I've spoken with a few other YouTube golfers, and not in every country they have the same thing. But here in the Netherlands, it's quite good, because where I see with other countries, they only once in a while send in a card due to the fact that they use this app, where you can see here all my different courses that or rounds that I've done. They've got also the statistics somewhat, what you can see. So I'll show the statistics here. And I will show you also the part where they have to, also to invite you to, it's fun to see the, here, go to the games and then see your own birdies, net birdies, where you are placed also in the bigger community. So going from this, but for example, to the bigger screen, and to the bigger screen meaning the PC, we've got also. So this was the app. On the TV, and I'll have to look at it myself as well. I'm going to record it now for you. Here we are. It looks like this. This is the dashboard. You see the handicap here. It's being 23.1 at the moment, and 21 birdies, but that is net birdies. And this is also a calculation, because there can be also net eagles. So also, if I go here to my prestaties, which is the accomplishment, you see here the birdie ranking. You see here a total score of 23, where I had netto 21 birdies and 1 eagle, so that one counts. Where within my friends, I'm at number 2. Within the place that I live, I'm at number 4. And yes, indeed, I am 52 years old. I started golf after my 50s, so I was 50 and a half, or close to, yeah. Where I am of registered players, so 6,200, where I'm now at 59. Mind you, this is a monthly score, so that will change every month. It will, calendar month, it will be set to 0 again. But more importantly, if I go to my games, so this is, here you see what happened to my handicap. I was, as you see here, and I'll put it a little bit more to the left, I was here to 22.4. And then, I made my handicap. I didn't make it on the day after. There I matched it so that it didn't go up. And then again, gradually, you see, it's getting worse. And this is because I really fill in every card, and I send it in. And sometimes when I'm not alone, it was then sent in as non-qualifying. If you look also here, you see here, I'm now 23.1. I didn't make it, I didn't make it, I didn't make it, which was all the 3 times that we played. So I will show you a little bit where we played, but I've mentioned that as well. And you see every time, and I've showed this before in a video, but here you see the times with the 0.1, which means I didn't make my handicap. It doesn't state here with how much I didn't make it. But and here, when it became 22.4, which was in late August, there was a climb of 0.4, a climb or a decrease, getting better, so for my potential at least. But then one, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times I only matched that new handicap more or less 3 times. And of course here it was already 22.5, which is, I think, due to the fact that handicap gives you the figure that is your potential. It doesn't state anything. It's very normal that you do not match it each time. So it's pretty alright. So here you see the rest. Well, if you go really into the scores, well, first of all, we've played this weekend at the Herkenbosche. Great course. I had 27 stable point fours. I didn't make it, so I went from 22.8. It resulted in 22.9. It was qualifying, and each time here you see also, these are all my qualifying, and here a few non-qualifying rounds that I did that do not come into the statistics. And here you see each time how it goes. And if you let me scroll down, you see quite a lot of courses. I've played quite a lot of qualifying, which is, I believe, pretty unique for the Netherlands to do this way. But at this way, it represents my handicap pretty well, and even better in the 2021 system, where you can go up way more points at once, where we're not talking about 1/10 if you do not make it, but to a maximum of 5 because it's capped off. And then I'm talking about 5 whole points. And I'm not here to to just say I'm a certain handicap. I want the handicap to represent what my level is at. And then in retrospect, I can go into, see if I still am making good progress. And if I've got a one-off, for example, where I'm immediately crashing down too quickly, it is very likely, being a sports-centered guy, that I cannot make it for a number of times after that. It must be my minimum, so my worst score should be at a certain level. And they have this saying in sports, you're only as good as your last game. So if your last game was really pretty terrible, then that's the level where you are at. So in this case, if I will show you, for example, this weekend, the Herkenbosche, it was a beautiful 18 holes course. The Herkenbosche, I had a playing handicap of 26 there, so it was a little bit more difficult than the rating. It was qualifying. I had 27, and I did it from the yellow tees. And in the Netherlands, there's only white, which is a little bit further, which is the farthest, the further really one. And of course, Mr. Pure Metal was my scoring buddy. So if I go here into the scoring card, they'll show you this very nice, like, okay, what do we have here? When did I play it? The par 4, 6, so it's one stable par 4. The 4 plus 1, I had a 5, so that means a netto a par, which means 2 points. Here 5 plus 2, I had 6, so it's a net birdie. And in this way it continues, and here you see the zeros coming in a little bit. I had 6 that I could have for scoring, but I didn't make it due to an 8. The same as here, I had a 5 to score a par, of course 4 plus the 1 due to my handicap, but I made a 7, so of course no points in there. Here you see, of course, the rest. Pretty interesting to see how it goes, but I've got too many zeros and not too many ones, but every one you of course need to compensate. 107 total strikes that I had. or strokes, if you go for a stroke play. And that was then on the Friday. If I go to the next course where we went was Brunssummerheide, which is then really in south of Limburg. Qualifying, I had 30 stable points, 23 handicap, so it was noted as a little bit easier course, which I don't agree upon, because I thought, I was playing handicap 27, so it was, it was rated more difficult. And I do agree, because it was a tough cookie and a tough course. So here you see again the scores that I had on the Saturday. So at first was a net 5 plus 2. It was a par 5. Due to my handicap and the course, I had 2 to make a net par, and I made the net par, which is 2 points. So here it was all right, par, net birdie, which is great, but then, you know, 2 times a 1 and a 0 coming in, which makes it very difficult. Then I pick it up a little bit again, but then it goes down again. And what I missed on this course, there were some very extreme tough table top greens, where if you do not land on the green with your approach to the green, so either being par 3 and you need to be on it right away, or par 4 or par 5 where you need to come off the top, otherwise you roll off. That was on this course, it was very apparent, and really it cost you immediately 106 total strokes and 30 points, stable points. For me, this is yesterday. I'm not sure when this video will be brought out, but so 27th qualifying on the Batouwe. We did a 9-hole, of course, but then here playing handicap 12. So they consider this to be a very easy course. With the amounts of water, I do not know if that's completely true. But it was true, because the fairways were way wider, and you had a lot of more room to make an error. So I do agree that. But 12 is, you know, it's supposed to be way more easy. It was qualifying, of course, the yellow one, 31 stable point. And if you go to my scorecard, it was, of course, only 9 points. And here you see it again, you know, I didn't make anything on it. It was too bad, because I was very close to the green after 2 strikes. But then I bladed it, and it went into a bunker. So that was 3rd stroke in the bunker, 5th stroke, then 3-putt, boom. 2-putt, it's 7, which is 0. And well, as you see here, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3 zeros to recover from. So I needed at least enough netto birdies to compensate. Well, this is only to show you a little bit that I think that Golf.nl, so that's the site, this is all arranged by the NGF, as you see here at the right. The NGF, this is their one of the part of the service, and I think it's pretty cool, you know. If you look at also the prestaties, they challenge you. You've got some awards that you can get, and how many times you change your handicap, what's your best scores, etc. But the history, many of these statistics change each calendar year. And you know, for example, the 9 birdies that I had so far in qualifying, which is great. I'm very happy with it. I do not have a hole in one, which is, and I don't have an eagle just yet, but I'm even not thinking about it. I'm still thinking about bogey golf. The other parts what you have is also your handicap in comparison to your friends or kind of other categories. Like, hey, from people here in the place that I live, I'm from 608 people who are part of the NGF, which is, you know, the Dutch Federation for Golf. And I'm 113, and for guys, men from 52 years, I am, well, I'm number 15, well, 1563. So for competition, it's pretty funny. However, it's fun. It shows you a little bit where you are at, and I think it's really nice to see. However, I also maintain my little own datasheet. I started off with this too late because I missed a few rounds that I did. And here you see I did my first round that I kept track of in my in this Excel file, when already via Golf.nl site they ramp it up so they only keep a few records that you can see. So I missed a few here, and I'm keeping a few things. So this is not officially round one, but I have to mark it. So of course the date, when it was exactly, with the time, where it was, the results that I had, how many stable points I had, qualifying, non-qualifying, which loops, because some of the courses might have variable routes, what the par is of that one. And so here are all the strokes, and it's either depending on 9 holes, it can also be 18 holes, of course. Then my total strikes and how much I am then above par. I indicate if it was a 9 or an 18 holes, do this also in a different table as well to make all kind of other filterings. And then the handicap change the results from it. And then, of course, if I made a bit of a birdie or not, because it is fun. So this way I can already, show a little bit more. If I take you a little bit aside, hopefully, yep, here's the picture. So here's where I started it off with. Let me go a little bit to the left for you to see. So here was the handicap 40. Here's the handicap 22, so the line here, I've made a trend line where you see like, oh, in the beginning I made way bigger jumps. And you see each time a trend, I went up a little bit, then I dropped, then I went up a little bit, then dropped, etc. And here are all the rounds that I played. And here you see like that I'm really curving out. And I had here my 22.4, and I'm still gradually going up as far as the rounds go. So this is to indicate it. However, the beautiful thing is, beautiful Excel, I've made some different kind of views as well, to see and keep track on the rounds that I play here at the left, to see, okay, how far off am I, depending on in the stroke play. But also in this matter, I can see, for example, not if I do not count the total, but I'll do it like this, like how many stable 4 points did I make, and then, for example, if I change this and I do not sum, but I make it average, which is of course the most important thing. And you see my average stable 4 points that I get is 32.3. Of course, I'm now calculating all the rounds. If I look at my last 10 rounds, or I'll mark, 32 was the overall average. I don't know how many I have now, but you see that my average now is 31. And that's taken from, just a subset of my last few rounds, which is logical because I'm curving out. I am not now in it will slow down, and it will take longer each time to drop it. And for people who play way longer than me with my 1.5 year, they also know, like, yeah, it stabilizes it, and once in a while you've got a very good round where you drop again in your handicap, which then again shows your potential, but not your average. And I am looking to improve my average. My average needs to go up. So this being pretty interesting. Nevertheless, if you compare me, if you look at, for me, these are all the hits that I do. I'll take everything. If you look at the count, in all the rounds that I did, I have had here, you see the count, means I have, the sum is 6,006, what is it? It's too close, 6,624. So let's say 6,624. If you then also, again, how many holes were there? There were 116 holes. So there's 116. Oh, no, that was not correct. Huh? 116 what? What was it? Let me look at it. I'm doing something wrong here. Sorry, 276. Oh, I've made an error. 276. This is not right. What is happening here? Okay, let me... I'm messing something up. Yeah, this is better. Yeah, do it again. Yeah, 1116. 1116 holes. If there are 1,160 holes that I played, then, and I have, you calculate that with, for example, 2 as a minimum, then this would be 1 times this. So 2,232 would be putts as a minimum. 2,232, which means, again, if you, for example, is minus this. So in games I have done 4,392 iron / driver hits, because for the drivers, of course, it can't be used every time, and of course a tee shot is a little bit different. If I would, I know that I have done 1,116 tee shots, but I do not know how much of those tee shots were with the driver. I haven't kept track of that. But that means that I have done 4,392 shots with my irons. I have done also 2,232 putts or more, and 4,392 iron / driver shots or less, which isn't close to even 10,000. And I have said it in some videos before, the 10,000 rule. I didn't even mark 5,000 iron shots, yet alone, of course, again, with less driver shots. If I go from 116, let's say that's 80% from that would be with the driver or less. Let's say that I have done maybe, because there are always less par 3s on a course than 4s and 5s, and I'm still, my range with the driver is that I can use my driver way more often than, for example, better players would be able to do, because they come far further. So let's say that I did 600 drives, 600 shots, 600. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's absolute beginner amounts. And then yet again, I think I play a lot. I play a lot. If you look at this, in this calendar year, I have played, let's see, in this calendar year, I've done 68 rounds, where the majority is qualifying. And I've done, I've still the majority that I did 68 in total, including 2009. I've did 68 par 9s, and the rest was par 9 hole, and I did 27 18 holes in my golfing career. 27, that's nothing. So maybe this, this will show you how I think myself as growing in the game, and I really approach it, also quite tactical and number based, and that's why I do not. Of course, I'm happy with my progress. I think also that my progress in comparison to other guys who maybe started out when they were 50 is quite all right. But it is nothing special. If you look at my last few rounds, I'm 23.1 at the moment. Nevertheless, I still love the game. And the love of the game comes in, when people... the statistic from Golf.nl, where I've had some talks with them, apparently most of the people stop within the first 2 years. And it is due to the fact that it is so hard to become better or come to a level that you are, well, finally, more or less a better player. So, I hope you like the insight a little bit. Let me take one quick look. Yeah, I was happy that was recording. I was checking it. So I hope that you like this little insight in my brain somewhat, and how I calculate these things, and how I track for my own sake my progress based upon the result. Because there's a lot of things that you do not see here. For example, in the last few rounds, I'm killed by putting. I make way too many 3-putts. My chipping has improved. My last round drives, really my very last from yesterday, my driving, and my aim is a little bit off at the moment. But I'm still being killed in the putting area. 3-putts, it kills me. So that is something that I need to take along if I really want to work on my handicap. But trust me, I'm not working on my handicap. I am working on my game. And that means for me something completely different. And the process that I am encountering, I'm working on getting control in my shots, and the score will follow. And my control in the shots of the putting, specifically distance control, that is hitting me, because my aim is pretty all right. It's distance control. So that is something you can train. And I'm also changing my technique again in my driver, because I want to stand more upright. My body is really, I think that can work out for the better, but it will take time for me to get it under control. Yeah, that's all for now. Hope you like this nerdy birdie. I say love out, stay metal.